Welcome to Big D Premier League. Well, shit, ladies and gentlemen, this is all getting very serious now with this video stuff, isn't it? I was a little bit fancy, maybe a little bit clever, a little bit silly, whatever you want to call it. I love putting stuff to music, and so I go and find myself a good tune, and then I try and work out how to actually use it. Anyway, here we go. We'll put the webcam cover off. That's me. I'm here. I'm live. I'm loud. And joining me tonight is FBY and Kiwi. Kiwi, welcome, mate.
Hey, Noppers. How you going, mate?
Good. And I really want to have a chat to you about some of that fighting you did last night. It was so much fun to watch, absolutely. Now, we'll have a bit of a chat about that. But for the moment, we've got about 3 minutes before this match is due to start. And what's our first match, Kiwi?
So we have FBY versus TFK, and it is a non-scoring round, I believe. Noppers, is that right?
No, both of these tonight are scoring battles, mate.
Oh, correction, both scoring.
I think, if I remember rightly, it was one scoring, one non-scoring each night, but they switched it around to get both the scoring battles on the same night. So that's what's actually occurred here is they've managed to get them both in. So it is FBY versus TFK. I'm just going to do some dodgy shifting here of stuff over there. No one saw that move across the bottom of my screen at all. So it's TFK and FBY tonight, and I'm really looking forward to TFK learning from the last few matches they've played and stepping up and doing well. And then, of course, the second match, which is OC versus NRD/AAS. And I really need to stress here, we quite often say, oh, yeah, NRD did this and NRD did that. Well, it's not just NRD. It's actually NRD and AAS, AAS being Airborne Assault Squad. We've even got members on the panel that are from Airborne Assault Squad. So it's a clan merge for this comp. I think, they did that because they weren't going to quite get the numbers, but there might be a chance that the interest had been generated into the future that they'll get the numbers for future matches. Anyway, we will see what happens there, mate. But first things first, while I get some pretty footage up and stuff like that at Utah Beach here, tell me about the fight you had last night.
Mate, that was absolutely fantastic. And that point as well that we fought over on Utah it's just a cracking point. Now, I usually command free para, but because it was a non-scoring match, we decided to sort of swap out and give my 2IC, Jimmy the Hand, a go at commanding. And I'll tell you, mate, that was so much fun not having the pressure of command. And I was just a lowly sniper, and I had so much fun, mate. That was just a laugh. When you don't have the responsibility of having to be fully aware of every single little thing that's going on the map, and you can really focus on winning your 1v1s, trying to, win little battles here and there, get Garys down, that sort of thing. It was, it was great fun. But the lads did well. The point changed hands, I think, was it twice?
Oh,
might have even been 3 times.
Well, it never really embedded that well, I think, from memory. There was just this constant toing and froing. We were watching the little bar go backwards and forwards. It's like, oh, they're taking, no, they're losing it. No, they're taking it again. Oh, no, they're losing it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so hard to call what was going to happen. And we were watching. We're like, oh, look, they've got the numbers there now, but there's about to be a spawn wave. Oh, there it is. Here it comes.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff. And that's when we did the pre-round map review during the middle of the week, and we do that, by the way, every Wednesday night prior to the weekend of the BPL. So the next one will be Wednesday week. And that's, what's that map? That's Samurai de Mont. We were talking about the fact that Win 4, which is at the top of the map, and I probably should bring that up, actually. Just give me a sec here. Where's the maps? Maps. Utah capture points. That looks like something there. Let's turn off the aerial loop. I've just got the pretty footage of flying around going in the background there. Okay, so Win 4's up the top of the map here, and the chapel's in the middle. And those two, from our assessment, and what we were talking about. Absolutely, we're going to turn backwards and forwards, and that's what we saw in both matches last night. It was just so bloody hard to fight. What was the biggest challenge, do you think, about holding one of those points?
They're both so attackable, and there's so many routes in that have good cover. So sector control's great, but once they get in tight, then it's just a real dogfight. It is just in close. It's grenades. It's just a sort of a head-on assault and a head-on defense. So both those points, yeah, it's a great map and heaps of fun to fight over. But I think the thing that impressed me with 3-Para, and full credit to the public team, they were awesome, and a really good team. They easily could have taken that, but we stayed very, very calm even when we didn't have the point. And I think that just shows the last 4 matches we're into now, and yeah, we definitely wouldn't have been that calm maybe on our first match or two, but we lost the point and everybody was like, okay, we know what we're doing, and we just went into it. And even in the last 5-10 minutes, we were still sort of relatively calm, I would say. So it was cool to see the team come along and become more experienced. But
yeah, and that's the growth, isn't it, of some of these teams that have only just sort of formed before the comp and things like that. Some of the clans like TFK, 3-Para, watching you guys grow. It's a real journey for us, the viewers, to actually see you guys improve every single week, every single fortnight. It's just good stuff. Interesting question though for you, mate. You did take a break from Commander, and I feel your pain there, man. I think I leveled Commander and Officer to rank 10 in the first year of the friggin' game. And I've been struggling to play anything else since. Have you got Sniper to level 3 yet? Because I haven't.
No, I've done pretty well. I've worked pretty hard. 3-Para are pretty active on the gaming scene, so I've got plenty of hours, and most of my characters are at least level 7, 8. So my Sniper, I think, is 8 or 9, perhaps. But right. Yeah, no, it's I try to work as little as possible, and gamers. No, just kidding. my boss. Hope he's not listening.
Yeah, there it is. And on that note, thanks for being unemployed now, mate. Well done. Now, look.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. Actually, I was just about to say I've been trying desperately to get some things leveled up. I only just got Assault to level 6 not long ago, and now I just walk like an artillery barrage. I walk grenades forward because you get 6 grenades.
Yeah.
So
Game changer, right? Game changer.
If I'm assaulting a point, I just throw a grenade and then walk about 5 or 10 paces, throw another grenade, and just keep going, and no one's in front of me. All right, so the map's up now. We're just getting ourselves going here. I'm just going to quickly throw down... Oh, something's gone wrong here. No. All right, so you're jumping on the Axis side, correct?
Yes.
And I'm jumping on the Allied team, and I'm just going to get that armor squad up, and we're just going to do that thing. So the point is the chapel. Oh, great. Absolutely awesome.
Here we go.
Happy days. All right, so let's have a good look at this now. I'm just going to spawn in, actually, so I'm good to go. So the point is the chapel. La Grande Creek is the one on the left, and then Win 5 down the bottom right there. But what the important points are, La Grande Creek and Hill 5, which is where I'm pointing with the arrow now, they are the 2 areas that are going to be... the real problem, and it looks like we've just got a little bit of a technical problem here. One of the guys is saying that they've lost a couple of players to connection to host, so that's probably going to slow down the battle start here a little bit. I don't know what they'll do with that, whether they'll reset it again or whether they'll... Yeah, we'll just watch for a second. Anyway, looking at the teams here, TFK versus Foy Boys, as we said before. Quite a few names now we know, of course. We've seen quite a few of these guys play in the last few weeks. Mr. Chu, of course, the Lord of Schmay is the commander of the TFK side. Who's the commander of the Foy Boys there, mate?
It's Pariah. Pariah, very experienced and a great player.
Yep, all right. So Pariah and Cortex are usually the ones. Okay, the server's restarting, so yeah, there's a few lost connection to host, so the server's going to do a restart here and they're going to get that going. All right, well, that actually now changes things because I don't reckon the chapel's going to come up again. I don't reckon that's actually going to be the case. What will happen is it'll now spawn onto something else. I'll be interested to see if Win 7 comes up because that one is very easily defended. Would you agree with that, mate?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's one of the most defendable points in the game. That sort of similar to Cobra Factory on Foy. Yeah, and it's the same thing. Once you get in close, it's just a dirty little scrap for the attackers. Very hard.
Cobra. God, thank God that's not in the middle of a friggin' map, eh? Because
damn right.
would just be an arsehole of a place to fight over for this. All right. I was having a really good chat last night to Das Altberg, actually, who does a lot of the European streaming for their leagues, and really, really good chat to him. And he may be joining us in a couple of weeks' time as one of our guests. That'll be exciting. But it's reset to 4. All right, so they're just trying to get things squared away here. But we were talking about Remagen, actually. I'm not sure how much you've paid attention to Remagen at all, mate, but he and quite a few of the community over there are very pissed off about what Remagen is not bringing to the table, and that is the ability to cross the bridge and actually fight. You're just going to get stuck, apparently.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't realise that.
The way it's looking is that you can set up your defensive line on the south bank, and there's very little room because of that huge river and the one bridge. The only way you can get across is either a bridge or an airhead. But the trouble with the airhead is because it's in 2 rows of the map, and based on where the cap points are, you've got tiny little strips of beach area where you can drop the airhead on the other side, and that's it. So it's very, very easy to defend. And airheads are seen a mile away, of course, because it's a very, very open maps. So you get into the towers. You get into the towers on the bridge, and that's it. You can just look left and right and clear the beaches of airheads and stuff. And so I'm not pessimistic. I think that it's been looked at, and surely there's got to be ways around this. But certainly there was a lot of negative feedback about it last night, which was really interesting. These guys have had a fair bit of the insider knowledge of it. So
sure.
I see you on Cobru, mate, and I raise you by the sounds of it, Remagen Bridge, or no, what's the bridge called? Ludendorff Bridge.
Right. I'm quite excited for the night maps, actually. I think that it's going to be an interesting take on maps that we all already know in the community. Yeah. And it's going to be a game changer. Whatever you think you know about that map, once you have night, and I don't know whether they'll probably have artillery illume and maybe
so there's flares,
sort of handheld flares. Yep.
But the flares are like a recon tank. You shoot the flare up in the air, and then it highlights a circled area. All right, so we're just getting back into it now. I'm on the US team. You should be on the Allied team. But all right, the Axis team, rather.
I'm Jimmy,
Yep. Sorry, we're just going to spawn in while this is going, and hopefully we'll get everybody in. No, Lucky, don't join my squad. I'm a cast member, mate. He tried that before too. Anyway, so there's a flare thing that I was watching, and that looks pretty cool. The night maps look amazing, mate, and just terrifying to fight on, actually. But anyway, let's get to the game in hand. It's back to win 4, mate. Okay, so as I suspected, Chapel is no longer. It's with the map reset that they just did to try and capture everybody. Well, we've gone up to Chapel, so it's given 3 minutes on the counter. I'm just going to get my little timer going here. Give me a second. So it's win 4. Now, what does that mean? Oh, well, tell me from last night, mate. Which one were you on? Were you on Chapel or win 4?
We won 4.
Well,
yeah,
we
won 4.
So let's just remind everyone again how hard this bastard is.
Oh, it's a fantastic point to fight over from an attacking perspective and a freaking defending perspective. I think it's probably slightly harder to defend, but just because of the amount of cover you have from 3, maybe 4 different approaches. So this is going to be a great match. I can't wait.
Right, so I'm just setting up some little countdown stuff here. That's obviously not working very well. We're going to start the timer now. I don't really know how this is working in relation to the way this has come in. I've got the battle timer up. Just a sec there. I'll just try and get rid of that stupid thing that I've just put up on the screen. There we go. What is it? Is it that one? There it is. There we go. All right. So now I've got something a little bit fancy as well, mate. I've been working pretty hard. So who are these two teams? We've got TFK, the blue team, and Foy Boys will be the orange team when it comes to the viewers at home. So if I do TFK on the right-hand side and Foy Boys on the left-hand side, what I've actually done, mate, is, the little bar that goes up the top of the screen with the timer and all that stuff?
Yes.
Well, now I've got clan mini logos that go up next to that. So
fantastic.
Everybody will always know, and I've got it around the wrong way, of course, because I'm an idiot. But that's fine because I can change that really quick. But there we go on the screen now for the viewers at home. So they'll always know who's who. On the top left there, you can see the TFK logo. On the top right, you've got the Foy Boy logo. How good is that? Took me
Fantastic.
hours. Took me hours. I ain't no video producer. Took me hours. All right, so what have we got here? Let's have a bit of a look here. I'm going to have a quick chat about what's going on. We've got a truck full of about 7 people in it that's up near Tear Green, and actually a couple of people on feet. Oh, that's the admin's just running into Tear Green now. We've got 2 trucks down south here. That one's half full, yeah, and then there's a supply truck. There's a recon tank right down the bottom. What do you got there, mate?
We have the Panzer IV is going forward, and obviously, as you'd expect with Win 4 on the left-hand side of the map, as far as Forward Boy is concerned, they've gone heavy on the left. So the truck on the left is full, and the centre truck just has a third full.
All right, so this is how it rolls now. We can see that the trucks are starting to come in. I think from memory, the US side is just slightly quicker coming into this point on the truck. Is that your experience from last night? I think that's what happened. Yep. But they didn't hold the point from memory. Yeah, that's right, because they got into the point at the start, but they didn't throw enough in. They didn't have sector control, and you guys overtook them with just the numbers and really good sector control. So that's what I remember anyway. So we'll see what happens here. They're just starting to come in now. I can see just off to the left here. I can hear that truck coming in. Yep, just that little noise there. And there's supplies down there. There's a commander move marker. That's where he's telling them to go. There's that truck on the left now coming in. We've got a supply truck by the look of that. No, that's a transport truck there from the 3 Power. That's you, mate. The 4 boys just coming in down the south there. And that south point is quite important to hold. But we can see straight away, there we are. We're starting to see the little raindrops falling out the back of that truck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The commander's in there as well. So they've got 2 squad leaders and a commander in there. I can hear the 4 boys coming in now up the north. Actually, they're raindropping all over the north, aren't they? They're going right up there onto the TFK side. All right, that's so they've pushed fairly deep there, straight up. And they don't seem to give a shit about the point right now, Kiwi. Why is that, do you reckon?
Yep. So basically, they've identified that there's 2 sectors that are really important on this map. Obviously, the north and the south. So Forward Boys have just basically gone to control those 2 points straight, and I think they're actually reasonably happy to lose the point at the start, as long as they control those sectors. So it's an interesting tactic.
Well, I think they've actually got numbers here too, to be honest. Although the Blues have pushed in first, the Forward Boys are just pushing it back now. They've got 4, 8, 11, 14 people there versus the 10 from the Blue Dots. So the 4 boys will start to capture this. I'll make that 15 people. We've got a lurker out the back there. Plus a Panzer 4 straight into the point, shooting into the shed, shooting into Bunnings. There we go. We'll get in a little bit closer here. So there's that Panzer 4. He's got infantry support as well. Excellent. That's really good work. And I can see a machine gunner as well over the back here, putting fire support in. So just have a look at that for a moment. How good is that setup? That first attacking setup, there's a truck blown up by the Panzer IV as it runs through. That's probably Kingsley and Cole. I'll go and check that in a sec. But see that machine gunner at the back there? It's Coconut Wiggy. He's got really good long fire options there and a small arc, and he's got protection on his left side. So he won't get flanked very easily. He'll be able to shoot all day there and stream fire into that shed. Where's that tank gone, mate? I've lost it. There it is, around the back. Let's just go and have a quick check to see who that is. And
that's Kingsley, Gerberman and Suicide.
Yeah, okay, with all their fancy little logos for their names now. I mean, you know, they need to spend more time focusing on tanking based on last night, if I want to be cruel about it. How many tanks did they lose last night? I don't think it was about 7 Tigers. Was it?
Yeah,
that right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was savage. It was savage, let's just say.
So let's see if they've picked up any hot tips from last night's match. Look, I guess if we think about this for a minute, the TFK guys are probably not that worried about losing the cap either. I mean, this early stage of the match, no one gives 2 shits about it. It's about getting map and sector control. Something just blew up down south. What the hell was that? That looked like another truck.
That was a truck, yes.
Boy Boy's truck by the look of that, maybe? Actually, that's a
oh no, it's a recon. So it's a
that's the TFK recon, mate. So that Panzer's come around the back and it's shredding the TFK guys down there. It's taking out their trucks. It's taking out their recon tank. All right, so TFK have had this grand plan, and it's been poorly executed. They've got 2 supplies, two piles of supplies on the map there in the Fox column, but nothing to do with them at the moment. I don't even know how many supplies are there, actually. So it's not even garrison worthy, that. 50 and 50 on both. So they've really gone nowhere with that. So they obviously had a plan of taking out the cap first and then putting garrisons up, and that hasn't worked at all. So now they're on massively on the back foot. The Foy boys have got the initiative here, incredibly got the initiative. It's just it's completely their match at the moment, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. No, well controlled from Foy boys. They did the kind of bullhorns tactic because, as we said, the north and the south are really important to hold. So they Foy boys went wide and then pinched it in from either side, and they've completely cleared out TFK. It's a great move.
I see fish sticks. They're talking about chat, and if you haven't got your comms sorted out by now, boys, then there's a bit of work ahead of you for this match, I think. So that's fine at the moment. So we've got the Foy boys holding, and let's see what TFK do with this. So they've still got a couple of guys down here. I'm just going to spear down there for a sec, nice and slowly. Yeah, they've just been pulled apart down here by the recon squad. Who's that? Fox Dog's coming in. Big John's sort of holding there. He's just been cut down. All right, so that's cleared out the south side as well. TFK have been pretty much shredded down here, and they've lost all control in anywhere in the Fox column at the moment. And while they've got supplies lying around, they're not really going anywhere right now. So if we have a bit of a scroll over that, you can see there's not a single blue dot anywhere at the moment. They've been completely booted out of the entire match, and they've got to really just start again. So 10 minutes of the match is gone, and Foy boys have achieved everything, and TFK have achieved nothing. That's unfortunate, but they've got plenty of time to come back. So we have a look at the map now, what's going on. We've got a supply truck going up north and a bunch of TFK guys running along the 3 row. We've got a few there lurking around this 6 row. There's a transport truck down south. I'll be interested to see. Yeah, there's a few in that one. There's 4 in that one. So they're probably trying that south stuff again. We've got a little bit of a start to tease up the north here. But I just watched whoever that is from the Foy boy, Harry Flashman. Oh, he just got cut down. He was trying to make it across the paddock. He knew there was a truck there, and that's a supply truck, of course. So Chad in that supply truck, he's dropped that out. He needs to get a garrison up straight away, and he has. That at least gives the TFK guys a bit of a chance here. So, okay, Kiwi, you've had a disastrous start or two before, I'm sure, in a match somewhere along the way. What do you do here if you're TFK?
Yeah, this is a tough one. They're up against it from here because their route in from the east is very difficult to make it all the way into the point. Really, the north and the south are the best approaches, and even from the rear on a sneak attack. So they've got to reconsolidate. They might have to inch their way in a certain in 1 or 2 sectors, just focus on breaking down the Foy boys' defences, but they're up against it. Let's say it's going to be a tough match for them for the next 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah, and that's right. They've not done themselves any favours. I think they were a bit spread out actually at the start. But we've got truckloads of people coming in now. Pardon the pun. Mr. Chu there and yeah. So okay. So what they're doing here, what it looks like, is setting up a bit of a like getting stuff in the golf column so they can start a proper assault. Now I'm seeing their fish sticks is saying there's a tank on the north side of Win 4. He thinks. Yeah, there is. It's literally sitting. I'm looking at it right now. It's literally sitting direct east, overwatching the entire front line of the TFK guys. So, what disappoints me though is no one's marked that, not even remotely. You know, and I know it's shot a couple of times. That type of intel is important for every single player on the map because squad leaders pass that on to each other. Yeah, tank on ping. Yes, Fish Sticks is trying to communicate, but this has always been a bit of a problem of the TFK guys. If you recall, on Sainte Mère Église, they had the scenario near the church there where the guy came in with a satchel and he placed the satchel on the tank, but he didn't seem to communicate to his team because a whole bunch of them still hung around that tank. And then a guy with an AT rocket came in and shot the tank and killed it, and then 2 seconds later the satchel went off and blew him up. That's the type of comms that loses you matches, isn't it?
Absolutely. The satchel was amazing, but it's definitely a double-edged sword at times.
Yeah, and we saw that a bit last night where, and it was a point I made in the stream actually, where someone was running in and putting a satchel on a tank, and then there was an AT guy shooting at the tank afterwards anyway. A complete waste of AT rockets. And the reason I say that is because it's very hard to reload AT rockets sometimes. You generally don't find ammo boxes lying around everywhere. There we go. They've taken out this south push. There's still a half track down here, but I think, yeah, look, that's Mirage is just around there. He knows it's here now, so we'll see that marked on your map, I reckon. And Schmay's got to hold that one. That's the commander down there trying to do something a little bit different. But yeah, wasting. Oh God, look at that! Mirage is actually in the truck. That's impressive. That's impressive. And Schmay's trying to find him, of course. And Schmay's, I don't know what Schmay's done there. Oh, he's jumped in the truck. He's been shot in the back of the head. There you go, mate. I don't know if you've seen that, but Mirage has jumped into the back of the half track. He's laid down in the back, and then as Schmay's got into the driver's seat, of course, it's exposed at the rear of the truck there, and Mirage has just popped him in the back of the head. So that's now, not only is it locked out, Freelance, don't shoot, Mirage is going to be pissed. That's locked out that truck, that half track now, but what a great little thing to do. I didn't actually know you could climb in the back of him. I will be doing the hell out of that from now on.
One interesting thing that's going on here, Noppers, is Gerberman, Kingsley and Suicide have brought forward a Tiger, and they've left their original Panzer IV, which survived, just on the eastern side of the point. So they now have 2 tanks. Obviously, one is manned as per the rules.
Yeah.
But they now have a second tank right there, which is a great tactic.
And they're driving over the top of it, mate. I'm not sure what that's about. I really don't know whether... But that's well played. I actually didn't realise that tank was unmanned, so that's why it's not shooting anyone. So perhaps that's why the TFK guys didn't know it was there, because it wasn't actually doing anything. It did shoot before, but they all buggered off. So that's well played by the FBY boys. But what we were saying before... about shooting a tank after a satchel's been put on it, you know, you've got to save your rounds. You've got to save your ammunition when you've got limited ammunition. That's a great shot there. It's just blown the hell out of something, some sort of vehicle. TFK have just thrown in recon over to see where the FBY boys are. We do have somebody, an AT guy. Well, he's come in behind the tank, so well played, that AT guy. Nukel, that is. He's had a go at that Tiger tank, so... that would have been a bit of a rude shot for the FBY boys there, because they thought they were surrounded by infantry, and it turns out they had a bad guy in there. But, you know, putting a satchel on a tank, don't then shoot it with rockets afterwards. Let the satchel do its work and protect the satchel from blowing, you know, from getting taken off by the enemy. If it doesn't work, then by all means throw some rockets in. But if you don't have to, because the satchel takes out the tank, well, then you've got a couple of rockets that can go and kill something else. It's much more effective. So, Kiwi, talk to me about this Tiger now. I can see it shredding, mate.
Yeah, so it has, obviously, I think it was Harry Flashman that got killed earlier next to the TFK garrison. And so now the Tiger has identified that Gary area. I think it was just shelling the garrison area, probably trying to get a lucky kill on the garrison. But it's in a good spot.
Well, the thing is now, and I'd be interested to hear from you how many Garys and things that the FBY boys have got. Actually, let's go to that first. Tell me where their Garys are at the moment, mate. Here's a bombing run, by the way. I'd be interested to see where this goes.
They are well set up. They have one near the point, which I think, you know, there's a lot of talk about where your Garys should be and how a lot of the time they shouldn't be on the point. However, there are points on Hell Let Loose where you simply have to have a garrison on the point. So they have one just on the edge of the circle. They've got one north and one south, and then they've got a couple deep in E6 and D5. So they're very well set up. Right. They are slightly vulnerable from the rear because they have no garrisons directly to the west, which means if the enemy gets in there, no garrisons are going to light up and give that early warning.
Yeah, and that's a bit interesting, isn't it? Because usually the FBY boys do have something back there, but I guess they got so far forward on the point they didn't have to worry about it. That was a great bombing run, by the way. I've just got to say it. It went straight over those 2 tanks, ripped the shit out of a bunch of FBY boys, and damaged the hell out of those tanks. The unfortunate part of it, though, is they have nothing to follow it up with. So one or two well-placed AT rockets would have probably taken out that Tiger quite easily after that bombing run, but because they had no troops following it in, it's kind of wasted. Now that tank's fully repaired, and it's moving forward now to affect chaos on the TFK guys. They do have a very broad attack line at the moment. It is literally 3 grid squares worth, and they are finally getting someone around the back here. Hormone Fairy. And the commander. Okay, so there you go. I think they have identified the problem you raised with the FBY boys, mate. And they're actually starting to get some troops around the back. So it's gone from 1 to 2 to 4 down here. 5 make that. So there's quite a bit of a push coming in here from around Echo 6, Keypad 9. That's where I'm seeing a bunch. And they're really starting to get sector control down here. The FBY boys are a little bit asleep on this one. We've got one person, probably still Mirage, or no, wait, who was that over? Yeah, it is Mirage. So it's still Mirage there. He needs to be screaming out loud that there's something down there. Are there any infantry markers or anything down the bottom of the map at the moment?
As far as FBY boys are concerned?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, nothing at the minute. They're spread out mostly north to south, and they're not pushing towards AA Battery too much.
Yeah, well, we've got...
which is interesting.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, give or take, TFK guys that are actually all down the bottom of the map here in the 5 row, and just slowly sweeping forward from there. but I can see Mirage has probably just worked that out, and he's got a few people looking. He's got one coming in now, an AT guy coming in. That's Freelance, and he's going to have fend off with Hell Destroyer at the moment. The commander's got an infantry marker showing the guys where they are, and they've just had another ace squad. Mirage is down now, so Mirage definitely knows somebody's down here. That's great, but Foy Boys are quite content at the moment. They're actually pushing their tank out, the AA battery. I can see that in the distance there. They've got a half-track just parking in behind Bunnings now. I just caught that out of the corner of my eye there as well. TFK have got a push on south, but they're not going anywhere, mate. They've stopped at Fox 5, and they're just kind of lurking in the chapel.
Yeah, I see that, and perhaps... I like this move, when the enemy are holding the way Foy Boys are, you have to keep probing, and sometimes you have to probe deep. So they're in a good position, and maybe they're waiting for either a diversion from another area or a push from another area before they fully reveal themselves.
They would have been looking for that from AA battery, but that Tiger tank came out and ripped them up over there. There are still a few guys out there, and they are running across the field. I'm just going to zoom up there, actually, and have a bit of a look at what the play is here. We've got Foy Boys' lovely trench line there. It's actually lined up beautifully. They really have got some great defensive depth there. So if the front guys are getting killed, the back guys can be putting in fire support. And by the time you get to the back guys, the front guys have already respawned and come back into the fight. So that's how you do defence, folks. And then, fuck it, send your Tiger forward and see what it can do. I just find it very surprising that no one is able to take out this Tiger at the moment. It's literally just shredding them apart on their garrison. And there's a spawn at Hotel 4. That Tiger is begging for someone to run up with a satchel and one infantry guy to protect it to the left, but no one's doing that. There's the AT guy now. He's shitting himself a little bit because that's Nukel. He's actually, the Tiger's sort of pushed past. It's looking for the spawn, but it hasn't seen it. Nukel's trying to shoot it. It's shot in the arse, but he's going to die. There he goes, and they got the garrison as well. So there's the end of the garrison up north for TFK, and Nukel's had a go at it. Yeah, not real pretty up there at the moment. We've got an airhead by the look of that. Is that an airhead out the back? Absolutely, an airhead's going in, mate. Right up at Echo 3. That's a great airhead, but the Foy Boys have seen it. They've been looking for it. They've been waiting for it. The thing is, it's pulling 1, 2, 3, 4 guys off the point, and they're starting their push down south. So that's what they were waiting for, mate, I reckon.
Exactly, yeah. And I think it's a valid tactic, the one that we used as well in the last match. The airhead, which are often taken down, they're a great distraction. So even if you can't push from the second attack angle, you can put an airhead down or even supplies to draw the defenders out to make them think that there's an attack coming from there. And I think that's what they've done. It's quite clever.
Airhead's down, though. Unfortunately, that's blown up. Foy Boys got there just in time. It's probably, against teams of this quality, you've really got to put it as far away as possible to get your spawn wave, even if that's what you're trying to affect. But that Hormone Fairy's got that one marked. It's all good. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Foy Boys now that are way out the back of the map. Unfortunately, TFK are just not really attacking very strongly at the moment. They had this massive south push that just occurred, and they've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 people there. But the Foy Boys have actually shut that down by spawning in further south. They must have a spawn way down south somewhere, mate.
Yeah, and E6. They have a spawn in E6 as well as an OP in F6. So they're able to get behind the attack, and they'll just roll through and take out TFK's OPs.
And that's it. That's what's happening right now. The TFK guys, whilst trying to push forward and shoot that building, they are doing it. But it's up to their squad leaders now to get their OPs up there, because the Foy Boys are pushing in from the back there. I can see, looks like a garrison. That's a TFK garrison. Oh, okay. There's actually a TFK garrison here. I can see some supplies coming in. Yeah, there we go. The big dildo coming down out of the sky. So there's Foy Boys dropping supplies down right behind whoever that is. Hell Destroyer. He hasn't seen him. Giant Red Parachute didn't give it away. Nope, not at all. But he's going in towards the garrison for some reason. There's the Tiger tank. All right. So, boom. That Tiger knew exactly where that Gary was. It didn't kill it, though.
There's a battle going on just to the south of the point where George Soros is holding the that key building all by himself, and he's got about 4 or 5 kills on TFK players so far. And I think in this situation, clearing buildings and rooms is very difficult to do in the game, and obviously in real life, it's one of the hardest things.
Absolutely.
So I think in this, I think the satchel is the way to go.
Yeah.
Don't mess around with it.
Wasting your time in there. I was watching that on the left-hand side of the screen as we were watching the garrison, which is still up. I just don't understand how that garrison's still alive. The tank's literally driving on top of the garrison. It's just driven on top of it right now. Does that sound like an AT gun shooting? Something? No, it's a 75. There's a 75 out there in the distance. They obviously don't know that they can't pen a Tiger from the front or do much to it at all, really. Heck and Sausage is coming around behind the Tiger to support it. There goes the 75 in the distance there. We can see that big explosion. The Tiger's finally taken out that garrison. George Soros has done an excellent job there in that building. We've got... look, the TFK guys are around the back here trying to do something. I can see machine gun fire coming from, I don't actually know where. Oh, there it is up the north here. So that's Red Dragon doing some MG fire, suppressive fire, and that's working really well. He's suppressing very well. He's actually suppressing no one. They're all dead now. Oh no, there's a spawn wave. Someone out the side here shooting beautifully. There, JM sniping him in with a support squad roll. He's sniping him at about 150 metres, so that's really well done. This TFK push is just going nowhere at the moment. These guys are just getting shut down everywhere. Really, really, really strong defence from FBY boys. How do you crack this? What's that? 21 minutes to go. How do you crack it?
Yeah, it was the I think they were hoping on the airhead to draw away defenders, and if it didn't work, then you've got an airhead that is live and you can actually attack from 2 points. So and you're right, when they were in their sort of form up area, they were there for quite a long time. They gave FBY boys a bit of a window to react and get set up.
I'm just watching. There's a spawn wave now up north. The thing is, this is what happened with the FBY boys against who'd they play in the first round? Was it you guys?
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
yep, that's right. That was our only loss.
So what has occurred then is occurring. Oh, never mind.
Ouch.
Wow, that was a great strafe. It's just dead bodies on the field now.
That's one of the best strafes I've ever seen in terms of kills. I mean, that was 5 or 6 at least.
But they got another spawn wave in, of course. But oh man, you would feel that, wouldn't you? You'd be pretty pissed right about now with this the way the attack's going. Look, there's an MG covering. It's just shredding them as they try to get in. They're too open. They're too exposed out here. They've got 7 people in the field. That MG is shooting beautifully. They're completely closing down any southwards push, and there's enough people up north side as well. They're just cracking them one by one. So they've gone from 7 to 3 in the space of about 10 seconds. And they'll get another spawn wave, of course, in here because that's what's occurring. And the FBY boys know there's a spawn there, but they get shot from the back. There's the Marmy, the cat's around there. He's just shooting him in the back now. There we go. There we go. Look, the spawn waves come in now. There's a guy right on their OP. That OP's down surely by now. Marmy's just picking them off one by one here. They're just getting... Literally, there's a FBY boy in every direction. Oh, that's just brutal. Yeah, they're not going anywhere here, are they? Their garrison there's locked down now, of course. Alpha, Delta. Their attacks are very lackluster. And I'm just going to scroll right back here. And I'm going to talk about the map. And I'm going to talk about what's going on here to try and maybe give a bit of education as to how things work and where the problems are. So... at the moment, here's a bombing run. Oh, here's the first one. There's a bombing run going in over that point, but there's a few infantry there to cover that, I guess. They need to take out a Gary up there. But it shouldn't be about trying to take the point at the moment. There's still 18 minutes left. It should be about getting sector control so that your next step is to take the point. So if it were me, given that the point is up to the north of the map, I would have a little bit of pressure up north, maybe that tank and half an infantry squad from AA battery, because that's going to keep pressure on Win 4 at Gulf 3. I would then have literally everybody else sweeping in from the mid-spawn, and I'd get garrisons up in, there should be a garrison up down here in Gulf 5 keypad 1. There should be a garrison in the red sector down at the bottom of Fox 6 perhaps. Another garrison up at Echo 6 keypad 7. And then you're starting to push into this area here again, which was where they were before. But the difference here is this. You start your little mini attack from up here, and they know there's a tank up there. The Foy boys are going to pay attention to that. They're going to bring up more of a defensive line here. You've pulled some of their troops out of other areas. You then start your little push here on a 4 grid square attack. These 4 grid squares here I'm highlighting. And you push in all directions like that. And I should give you a little pen out to make it all fancy, but I won't. So 4 directions to take this here. This is the area you're trying to take. I give no fucks about win 4 at the moment. I'm taking this area because I want to control this road. That's what I want to do. While you're attacking here and while you're halfway through it, this is when your airhead goes in up here. So that anybody that dies out of all of this lot then spawns in up here. Because I'll tell you right now, the Foy boys will all be here. Every single one of them will be right here. And they'll be fighting like hell for this area here. You may never get this, but then your airhead comes in and you get sector control up here and you put a garrison up in the top corner there perhaps, and then you run in, maybe get an OP down this way and you run in, and that's how you do it. And you do that, it's like 3 stages. So at the moment, if we look at what's going on, there's just this one line down the Gulf column, 3, 4, and 5. That tank's sort of running around everywhere. Let's go and see what it's doing at the moment. So they're trying to make some change. It's chasing the Tiger. That's fair. That's fair. We've got to really take that Tiger out. But their attacks are lackluster because it doesn't have that experience of multi-axis attacks. There we go. The Tiger's probably going to cark it here. I'm pretty sure they just bounced that 76, which was really good for the 76. But they are side flanking onto it. Not really sure why. And it's just shot the bush. Oh, that's not pretty. There's a shot into the 76. Oh, that's not real good. That's not real good at all. But two of the guys got out. JM 666. Well played, that guy. There's a missed shot from the Tiger. Lewis is repairing. The Tiger's got one person in now. It's probably Kingsley. Yes, it is. There's another shot of the Tiger. It's hurting, but it's not dead. That's 76. Oh, he shot the bush again. Oh, the tanking is just poor over the last 2 days. Oh, there she goes. That's the Tiger. Oh, well done, 76. It wasn't pretty to watch, but it was effective. Oh, JD6 just shot it again.
And now, you know that the enemy, you only have 1 tank per side on this in this format. Yeah. So now they know that the enemy tank is down, and they have a little window now to really make use of their 76.
All right,
you know,
so
they've got a window, they need to use it.
Well, given that they're not following anything that I just said about the attack that I would like to do, we're going to talk about the setup they have got, mate. With that tank and what they've got right now, I can see Hormone Ferry is coming in at Echo 6 in a supply truck. So they're going to put an OP or garrison, a garrison down the bottom there. What do you do right now, Kiwi? What do you do right now?
Look. Basically, you nailed it with what you're saying. It was a conversation we had after the OC game, and with a team and on this short format, it's like everyone is so focused on the point. But when the other team has sector control, you have to break it down into little battles before you get to the point. Because if you're TFK right now and you're so focused on the point, all that's going to happen is exactly what's happening. You just end up running into them and dying and dying and dying and dying again and again. Because if they broke it down to, say, let's take the house in the south and, as you said, get a presence in the north, all of a sudden you're breaking it down into smaller chunks. It's not so daunting. So yeah. I think you're right. That's what TFK has to do from here. And there is time. 15 minutes is a long time in this game.
It is, and they're pushing, 5 minutes is a long time in this game, as we know. They're pushing too far with that supply truck. They really should have got a garrison in Echo 6. They did take down the Boy Boys one by the look of that. But here's JM actually now just single-shotting at this truck, which has just got sort of semi-stuck. Oh, yeah, and he's dead now. The Hell Destroyer's got to try and survive here. Oh, there's a machine gun shooting him in the back as well. And this is it. They haven't got a garrison up down south at all. Like, nothing at all. And they've tried to push too far with the supply truck, and they've been caught in the middle of the open with a pincer move by 3 Boy Boys who are just going to kill them. There's no squad leader in the truck anymore. There we go. There's the truck blown up. This is it. Bite the elephant one mouthful at a time. Start down here with your garrison, then you can spawn in if you fuck it up and go up to the next grid square. But in this case, they've screwed it up and they've got one support guy on his own about, well, the nearest spawn point is literally the beach. Unless you're talking about
another point as well, Noppers, is the TFK recon. In these situations, your recon is just crucial for getting in behind. And as you said, they get one deep Gary. to give them a jumping off point, and then they slowly creep their way forward until they get into the position where they want their alternative attack, Gary. So I'm not seeing much from the TFK recon. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, well, I'm seeing an airhead come in now, and it's a TFK airhead. Let me tell you how bad this airhead is, mate. The nearest person for TFK is Golf for Keypad 5. The airhead is literally landing on the Foyboy commander.
Roger.
So that's just, it's very disappointing.
Yep, they've got the airhead.
Yeah, which was gone the moment. There was 5 fucking people there, mate, to take the airhead out. It was a race. I'm pretty sure they were looking to kill each other to try and get the airhead first. Yeah, and it's so disappointing for TFK here because there's so many good players on their team. I just don't think they understand some of the concepts that we talk about in these streams. You know, there's 11 minutes to go on the clock. No, sorry, 9 minutes to go. What's that? 45, 55, just 11 minutes. I was right the first time. I've had a glass of semi-port wine. That's what it is, mate. So forgive me for that. They just don't understand some of the concepts. So we reiterate here what they should have done. So this supply truck right now, Chad, what's he got? So he needs to be setting up a garrison in the 6th row. I don't care where. Either of those 2 red squares is fine. 6th row. Set up a bloody garrison so that you've got people able to spawn in down south. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Where's the nearest Foyboy garrison now to that? Because I know they took down one before.
Foyboy still has a full... they're probably just missing one garrison in one part near that house, as we said, in the south. But other than that, they have 2 half tracks. They have 5 garrisons around the point. They are almost rock solid. It is rock solid.
Freelance literally has spawned in down south because they knew there was a truck coming in. Obviously, they were watching it from somewhere. He's coming. He's killed both the driver and the bloody passenger, and now he's redeployed because that's how you do it. Go in, kill the problem, and then get out of there. Or maybe he's redeploying as someone with AT. Yeah, I reckon someone with AT's coming south. Yeah, there, George Soros. Look at that. He'll be hot for the kill, old George. He's having a good round from what I can tell. This is not going anywhere. It's absolutely a Foyboys game. We just saw a half track blow up the top here too, mate. That's I don't know what it is that's shooting him. Is there another tank up here somewhere? Oh, it's an AT gun. All right, there you go. So Jaeger's got an AT gun set up. Literally, where are we? We're at the Fox 3 keypad 9. He's covering that entire north area now. Absolutely. So that was that half track, and that's the end of that. And now they're still trying to push through. It's now just a direct frontal assault. That's literally what they're doing right now, mate.
And the Tiger, the Foyboys Tiger, is on the right flank of TFK, and obviously the left of the Foyboys.
Yeah,
and it's right in the middle of the field, and it's you think it would be susceptible to anti-tank guns and infantry attack, but it just seems to be doing whatever it wants, which is not ideal.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. It's very different from last night matches. Although we have seen some of the shenanigans of bad tanking tonight. It's uncontested, that tank. Really, it's absolutely dominating. It's now shooting the ground. So yeah, all right. I don't know what that was about. Just bad aiming, I guess. Oh, I suppose they're trying to shoot the guys in the trench. Yeah, they're just trying to hit the trench. That'd be pretty hard to do, actually. Now, we've got a medic there near it, but there's nothing else. That tank's... No one's gonna hurt that. Oh, so good is the tanking at the moment. They just shot something way back coming off the beach. Absolutely. 8 minutes to go. Just over 8 minutes. Someone from... Oh, there we go. Something's shooting at it. That's the AT guy. Oh, that's a great shot there. Probably about 200-metre shot there from Big John, although he's now going to wear a few machine gun bullets to the face. Trouble is, shooting the Tiger in the front, that's not going to help at all. That's not going to help at all.
How has the TFK been with their half tracks? Because Foyboy are making amazing use of their half tracks. They have 3 on the map.
TFK, they had one good half track up north at one stage from memory, and then that got blown up. They tried to drive one in up here, and the AT gun took it out. They had a half track down south in the water. That was the one, actually, that was at Fox 5 that was sitting in the channel, and Mirage got in the back of it and shot the commander in the back of the head when he tried to drive the half track off. So, I tell you what, Big John's quite the AD tanker. He knows what he's doing here. He knows how to play. He's not sitting up at the front against the bushes, because that's exactly where the tiger shot, and it was nowhere near Big John. So he's a very smart player by the look at this. But what he's got to worry about is there's the anti-tank gun up the north somewhere, and the moment he comes running around the corner here, see, shooting the tiger in the front's no good though. It's a wasted effort. I don't know how many rockets it would take to shoot the tiger in the front, but it's probably about 10. Any ideas?
Yeah, no, I think I've put 10 into the front of the tiger before, and it was still standing.
Yeah, it hasn't even made a dent in that tiger. There's 2 splat marks on the front of it where it's been shot, or maybe 3 there. There you go. It's just not happening. That's just not the way to play, boys. You can't do these basic things wrong. You've got to get tanks in the side of flanks. I mean, we showed it in the first video where to shoot these tanks. The tiger low down in the back, I believe, is where you want to hit it, and the 76 you want to hit it just in front of the rear wheel in the tread. So this is very much a Foy Boys match. There's no way TFK are getting it back here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be as exciting as we've seen in the past, I don't think. Although I have said similar things, and then, well, fucking someone's going to hold my beer, haven't they?
Yeah. Yeah, no, these teams are committed, so there'll be no give for sure.
There's Chad now. He's finally getting up here. He's had 3 goes at it. He's finally getting up here. He'll get an OP in around the Echo 6 area. This is where a garrison needs to go. There's a bombing run coming in way down south. All right, yeah, well, that's a better use of the bombing run, I guess, to try and push this area. That's a pretty good bombing run, to be honest.
That's right, and if you look at it opposite, look, they're treating it as we said. So now they're breaking it down. Now, if they take that chapel, now they've got a staging point to then take the house, and now they have a route in. And if they use diversions and get an attack from another angle, we've got a ball game with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, they've got Mr. Chu there. He's one of the leaders of their clan from memory. He's got some supplies down there, but they need another 50. Who's this coming in behind? Probably Mirage again. Yes, it is. So Chad's got to be careful here. Mirage has been controlling this area down here well. Chad's been trying to get supplies in this spot for about 15, 20 minutes, maybe even longer. Here's Mirage now working into the building where Chad is. Let's get in and get close to that. I love these little fights. So he knows he's there. There it is. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mirage has definitely shown his skills there, and he's ripped Chad out of that building. But I would expect... Where's the OP? Oh, it's miles south. Okay, well, Chad's going to be able to come back in, but his OP's a long way off. They need to double box that set of supplies there that I'm overlooking now at Echo 6 to get at least a garrison up. So I've got a point. This little push here on the southeast around the chapel area, Kiwi, you are correct. This is a good little push. This is how to do it. They've run a bombing run in, and now they're pushing in troops, and that's fine. The trouble is you've got to be good enough against what's going on with the Foy Boys, and you can see the Foy Boys they'll just pick them apart one by one. I don't hear much cover fire coming in. There's some good fire actually that's taking out someone up the north. The automatic rifleman from Foy Boys is dead, whoever that is. That's George Soros actually. All right, he's changed roles a few times. 5 minutes to go, less than 5 now. Little bit of a push here from TFK. I don't think it's going to be enough, but they are going to have a go at it. Here's Mirage coming up again, and he's got another squad leader there. He's ripped Harry Flashman's good player. Flurp there's been ripped apart by Mirage or Harry. That's good. Harry will sit here and just pick them apart one by one, and he's got a really good spot there behind those logs, so that's going to be tough. They've smoked him up, though. That's good. That's good play. So Harry's smart enough to know he doesn't want to stay there. He's going to flank around to the right and try and see if he can get him. That's really good play from Harry there, mate. Do you know many of the Foy Boys well?
Yep. We've played with most of these guys. Yeah, they're a really cool clan, and he is a great player. He is a really great player. But this is a good push from TFK, but it's probably 20 minutes too late.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 20 minutes too late. We can see here that the TFK guys, Mr. Chu needs to redeploy on an OP that Bravo puts down right now. That's where you need your OP, Bravo. Right back there. Chad, listen to me, Brody. No, he can't hear me, of course. He needs his OP back here behind these bushes, and then he needs to put the garrison up there where Mr. Chu is, and they need to double box that, and that'd be a great garrison. So there, right there, that's what you needed to do, boys. And it never happened, and it never will, because Mr. Chu's not going to redeploy. The OP's not up here, and those supplies are at 50, and you can't build a garrison in there. Good push from TFK, and they are getting some supplies in now on the chapel. That's good. But there's the opportunity for 2 garrisons there. And it's not going to happen. We've got Contact Front, who's an assault player. He's way the friggin' hell out in Delta 7. I'm not sure what he's looking for, but he's not going to do much with 3 minutes to go.
Fish Sticks had the Foy Boys garrison locked, but he didn't actually see it. But TFK have found the Gary now, so Fish Sticks ran past it, and Harry Flashman managed to kill him. But TFK are on it now. This is a great push from TFK. It's they are a good team. They're a capable team. Yep. They're just going to run out of time, I feel.
But the other problem they got, though, mate, the only thing they've got going right at this very moment is the fact that Bravo Squad's out there on the left, but they don't have a garrison out there. They've got one single push going up the main road here, and that's going to go well enough. But, I mean, how many OPs and garrisons have the Foy Boys got? About 9, I think we would count, wouldn't we?
Oh, it's just a myriad. Yeah. It's an absolute myriad. But where's TFK's tank, and have they got scope to push in from another angle? Because that's a lovely push from TFK. If they had a second direction, we've got a ball game.
They've got 800 fuel and no tank.
Oh, I see.
And I don't understand that at all.
No.
So look, what's happening here, and this is fine, but here's the problem with it. So they're picking apart the Foy Boys one person at a time. Look at that. There's a spawn wave, though, and there's a lot of Foy Boys up there on the point who will just start peeling south once they realise there's a big threat down here. There's an airhead. There's an airhead going on the point. Oh, no, TFK. That airhead is dropping on top of fucking 8. They're shooting at it in the sky. The Foy Boys are shooting the airhead. That's how confident they are. And look at this. Why are you doing this with your airheads?
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame.
Terrible airhead placement. Just absolutely terrible.
I wonder if he meant to bomb it or something. I don't know.
Look at Bravo Squad here. Commander's found him, though. The commander of Foy Boys has found Bravo Squad coming out here. They put a strafe in. The strafe's done nothing. That was a terrible strafe. The Bravo squad leader is out here. Pariah's coming around from Foy Boys to clear out this little push, and he spawned a couple of people out here to help him. They're dropping a bombing run in now. I don't know where this is going, but probably out here. The thing is, the squad leader's dead, and there's no AP. And there's the push getting hammered now by a bombing run. Yeah, so look at that. There's about 4 or 5 kills there, probably. I mean, it's a good little push here from TFK. They got 30 seconds on the clock, pretty much. That's not going to happen. It's just, well, I mean, I think we talked about it. What they're doing right now is what they should have been doing 25, 30 minutes ago. Granted that the Foy Boys are reacting to it, but if we look at the map, where are the garrisons? There's not a single garrison has been placed up in the Echo of Fox columns, and they've got one at Hotel 4. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So I'm going to say GG straight up to the Foy Boys here. Unfortunately, TFK, they haven't brought their A game tonight, Kiwi. I must admit I've seen them play much better than this.
Yeah, they're a great team. That's all the teams are capable, but they were dominated. There's no other word for it.
They have not brought their A game, but yes, the Foy Boys have played very well. There it is. Good game's been called, so that's the end of that one. And my timer was a bit out, so I wasn't sure how long they were delaying at the start there, so just ignore my timer. I guess, like, the Foy Boys have played very well. Let's be absolutely honest about that. But TFK, like, completely lackluster there for so long with their attack, and they finally did that south push we talked about however long ago it was, and look how far into the point they got. They literally got into the 4 row quite easily.
Absolutely.
They fought to get there, but and then imagine if they had a couple of garrisons down here in Echo 5-6, Fox 5-6, and OPs coming up, and oh man, it would have been a different battle if they just... all right, so give us a wrap up there, Kiwi, if you can, please.
Look, I'll take it all the way back to the initial 5 minutes. So you had two differing... TFK tried to go into the point and also hold the north and the south. So they did all 3 of those things, but they didn't have enough players. So the guys on the point got completely crushed because what the contrasting tactic was Foy Boys went left and they went right with their full force and just closed in and completely crushed them. The only way I could have seen TFK, and then it was all downhill from there, the only way I could have seen TFK changing that is if you do the opposite, which is put all of your troops in to get the cap and then you fight your way out. So that might have worked because the guys in the middle just got crushed and they never recovered.
There you go. And that's exactly it. So, mate, I agree with everything you say there. If I had to sum up, you're probably not going to hear this, but I've got my own little sound clips now because I've been obviously playing with my Stream Deck. Anyway, I'm going to click this one. This is how I believe things went for TFK.
Yeah, that went well.
All right, thank you, Mal Reynolds from Firefly. It was just. If TFK go back and look at this footage, the thing I will say to them is, have a listen to what I said around the middle there about how the attack should look versus how it did look. You can crack open any team, Boys, OC, NRD. It doesn't really matter if you do those things that I highlighted. Yeah, it's going to be hard. Don't get me wrong. These are all very, very capable teams, as you've pointed out there, Kiwi. But you've got to just do things where you've got multiple axes of attack and you've got multiple options for your guys to spawn in on. And if you fuck up in one area, you've got second, third, and fourth options to save your ass when you screw up. The Four Boys had that. TFK did not. And so TFK were never going to get into the point with these linear attacks they were doing. Unfortunate, but that's how it is. All right, what we're going to do now is take a bit of a break, aren't we? Because we've got another match starting in 5 minutes' time. So we'll take a quick break, go refresh our tasty beverages, and we will see you again shortly, folks. Well, look, I'm put on some corporate music as a background. Out. Woo, that's loud. Okay, so see you shortly, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll go mic silent.
Nice on Noppers. That was pretty cool.